So everyone can block back fastballs, but what everyone can't do and they end up getting so frustrated is returning slow balls. Balls that are sitting up in the air like sitting ducks. Lob serves, lob returns, balls that are coming with no pace. In this video, we're going to be going over how to return slow shots in pickleball. Hey everyone, it's Pickleball with Tyler with Universal Rackets, and in this video, we are going to be doing a full masterclass on how to hit slow balls. Yes, I said it right, not fast, slow balls. If you ever feel like you've had floaters that you just instantly hit in the net or missed, if you ever feel like you had trouble dealing with very slow, lofty third shots, if you ever feel like you had trouble returning slow lob serves, then this is going to be the video for you. If you stay tuned for this whole video, all those easy shots that you're missing because they're just so slow and they're floating through the air, we're going to teach you the exact tips and tricks on how to deal with slow balls. So make sure you buckle your seatbelts and stay tuned because this is going to be an amazing video. Let's go. Now, the first thing that you have to do, and this is a total mental tip, is you need to say this out loud with me. Are you ready? The slowest balls that are coming. So say this out loud with me. Are you ready? The balls that come with no pace are the hardest balls to hit. Once again, the balls that come with no pace are the hardest balls to hit. A lot of players end up missing these balls because they think that they're easy. They think that these floating shots are so easy. They think that it's a layup. They think that these lob serves, they can instantly smash and put away. Well, yeah, you can, but you have to figure out certain tips and do certain tricks in order to get that done. You have to understand that balls that come with no pace are difficult to hit. You can't just stand there and think that you can smack at the ball, and that's where everyone goes wrong. Then what happens is that they end up missing that easy shot, they end up getting in their head, they end up getting frustrated, then they have another slow ball, and it's basically a downward snowball effect. So the first thing that you have to do, again, is you have to respect and understand that balls with no pace are difficult. Now, the reason why balls with no pace are difficult is because you have to create pace on balls with no pace. Think, when the ball is being banged back at you, all you have to do is redirect pace. Once again, redirect. You have to redirect and just block back the pace. That's why when you play high-level pickleballers or you play players that hit hard, you always feel like you play well. And the reason why is because even though, and you'll say, oh, well, guess what? I played a really good pickballer. I swore I was in every single point, but I lost 11-0, 11-0. Well, really, you weren't. But the reason why you felt so good, even though the score was horrible, is because you're able to just redirect pace. You're able to get into a rhythm. Instead of redirecting when the ball comes slow, regardless if it's a high drop, a high volley, a high return, a lob serve, what you have to do is you have to create instead of redirect. Now, how do we create pace regardless of what type of shot that we're hitting? Well, the main reason why players can't hit hard balls, or slow balls, I'm sorry, is because they think that they have to use all their arm. Or again, they don't respect it, so they just go and they swing. And even if they make it in, they're going to blow out their shoulder, or it's not going to be consistent. And again, the moment that you miss, it all goes downhill. Instead of thinking that I have to not do anything or just use all my arm and my shoulder, what you have to understand is that the pace comes from the ground up. Once again, all the pace comes from the earth. All of the pace comes from this pickleball court. You need to create pace from the ground. I want you to think that you're Avatar, the last airbender, and you're in earth, wind, fire, right? Remember that show? He's getting all the energy from the earth. The exact same thing when you hit these balls. What you have to learn, how do we create pace from the ground up? You have to get into your legs. So the first step that you have to do is get into your legs to create pace. Now, if you have a low floater volley, what you need to do is load into the ground and then explode forward. Again, instead of just swinging with my upper body, I'm pushing down into the ground and then I'm exploding up. I'm loading and then exploding. Ball's coming slow, loading and then exploding. That's what I have to do. Now, if it's any other type of shot, if it's a slow drive, a slow return, or maybe a high dink that's just floating in and you can't take it out of air because it's going like this. You need to use your legs and your momentum. Now, clearly, I can't use my momentum if I'm hitting a ball in the air, but anywhere else, I need to use my momentum. That's how I get from the ground up. So notice if I'm hitting a speed up or a slow off the dink bounce, what am I going to do? I'm going to move back to my legs and then push my momentum forward. Again, what I'm not doing is I'm not just standing here using all my arm. Understand again, first thing is legs, second thing is momentum or legs and momentum, depending where you're on court. You're going to move back and finish forward. The exact same thing when we're hitting our returns of serves or drives off of no pace returns. Okay, if someone drives me a ball or hits me a ball that's super slow, I have to take a super slow third shot. Notice what I'm doing. I'm not waiting and then swinging. That's where players go wrong. You get frustrated, it's not going to work. I need to get into my legs and finish forward. Again, if it's a lob serve, I need to get into my legs and finish forward. Now, the next thing that we have to do, and this doesn't go with volleys, that's why we start with volleys first, is you have to give yourself some room for error or some room for margin. You have to understand that these balls, when they're coming slow, they're probably going to be coming slow, they're going to be coming higher, and then they're going to dive down. And what's going to happen is where players go wrong, and this is why you're missing these slow shots, even if you're not trying to arm and destroy the ball, is what players do is that they lob the serve over or they lob their return and it's super slow and I have to hit my third shot. Where players go wrong is that they stand here and then they're too close. You need to use your momentum. And if you get too close to the ball prior to the bounce, you're not going to be able to have any momentum into your shot, and you're not going to be able to create. And again, you're not going to have enough pace to redirect. So again, this is the perfect situation. Ball's coming in slow. You're standing right here, right after where the ball's bounce is, and then you have to hit it. And it's not going to work. If the ball is coming slow, you have to give yourself some room. If the ball's coming in slow, and say the ball is this yellow cone right here. If the ball's coming in slow and it's bouncing right here, you have to understand balls that come fast with pace, they're going to bounce and then they're going to go to you. Balls that are coming in slow, they're going to bounce and they're basically going to sit up. So what happens again is instead of standing super close, what you need to do is you need to stand further back. So think, the ball's going to bounce at the yellow. It's not going to come to you like a normal shot, right? It's going to be right here. So what you need to do is instead of standing here and then trying to create my own pace, I need to use my momentum in my legs. What am I going to do? I'm going to stand further back. Now when the ball comes in slow and it bounces, look, now I have momentum forward. Do you see that? That's the difference between someone who gets frustrated with easy shots and can't hit lob serves or lob balls and they just can't do it versus someone that's good and knows how to handle it. It's like when you have a fire, you stop, drop, and roll. When you have a slow ball with no pace, you get into your legs and use your momentum and create all your momentum from the ground up and your forward movement if you're not up at the kitchen. There's a certain procedure that you have to follow, and it's going to make your life so much easier. So again, if the ball's coming in slow, stand back a little bit. So now look, now I have momentum forward and I'm able to create my own pace. Again, I will say this one more time. You want to make sure you get into your legs as well. Another reason why is because the slower the ball, the more chances you have of things that can go wrong. Once again, the slower the ball comes, the more time there is for things to go wrong. So if there is time for things to go wrong, then there's going to be time for you to have more errors. And if there's time for more errors, you're going to have time to get more frustrated. And again, we are in the downward snowball effect until you lose your pickleball game and you're like, they were so bad. They played like pushers. They just lobbed the ball up. They weren't good. They didn't play real pickleball. Okay, guess what? You just got to do this, okay? So what do? You have to get your legs down, because where players go wrong is even if they move forward, they're picking their body up and the ball goes everywhere. You want to stay down and keep your body controlled. I want you to think that your legs and your momentum is flashy. Everything else is toned down. You're being a hot shot, all in your legs, all in your momentum. But this upper body, everything up here, you gotta keep it controlled, Nancy. You gotta keep it controlled, John. You have to. Because what happens, and this happens to me all the time, I see a high, lofty ball. I'm really pissed off that my opponent is playing like this. I want to knock the ball down their living throat. I'm going to get all my testosterone. I'm a former Division I tennis player, and this happens to me still. I need to watch this video for myself. I'm creating this video for myself too. Maybe I'll learn, probably not. I'm gonna still do it, but the ball's gonna come really slow, and boom, and I pick my body up, and then ball goes out. They all look at me. My wife's maybe on the court with me, hopefully not, or next to me. And she's like, what are you doing? You're an idiot. And I feel like an idiot and everything like that. What you need to do is when you hit, use your momentum and keep your body down and forward. Any type of slow ball, you're keeping your body down and forward and conserved. I want you to think that there is a ceiling here and you're going to stay down through the ceiling. I want you to think, if you're 6 foot, be 5 foot. If you're 5 foot, be 4 foot. Or you can think that pretend you're the Eagles destroying the Chiefs and you're tackling your Jalen Carter. Hopefully you didn't spit on someone this week. And you're going forward and you're tackling forward and throw. If you pick your body up, you're going to fall out of your shot. That's how you return. If anyone ever hits a lob serve to you, if they just pop the ball up in the air and you have to let the ball bounce, if you stand back, if you give yourself room, if you keep your body down, use your momentum and get into your legs, you are going to be able to deal with it so much easier. The next thing that we have to go over, and this is for everything, including up at the net, is acceleration. You need to make sure that you accelerate throughout your shot. A lot of players think that what you have to do is you have to just tap the ball up, or you just have to like tap the ball over. A lot of players, what they do is they stop and they tap. The ball goes long. You need to commit to your swing. I'm getting into my legs and I'm committing with my swing. Now that doesn't mean I'm using my arm and my shoulder, but that means I'm committing with my paddle speed. When I'm hitting, I'm making sure that I'm accelerating. I'm not decelerating throughout my shots. I need to create and keep and maintain my swing speed. A lot of players go wrong because they see that high ball and they end up slowing down their swing. Well, why do you end up slowing down your swing on slow, high, lofty balls? Because you are afraid to miss. You're afraid to miss. But it's kind of like it's counterintuitive. What's going to happen is, in pickleball, to gain control, you have to give up control. The more you let the paddle work for you and the less you work for the paddle, the better it's going to be. What's going to happen is it's going to be like a mind, I don't want to use that word, a light bulb, right? A light bulb, not a mind blank, right? It's going to be a light bulb. If you know, you know. Instead of doing this and being afraid, maybe you're missing or not getting it or putting it away, you're going to go like this. Now, I swung twice as fast, but I got into my legs, I kept my body down, I did the right thing, and I was able to hit twice as an effective ball without doing half the amount of work. And then you're going to realize, oh, wow, I can hit it. It feels that good. I didn't even have to do that much. I end the point. I win the point. It's going to win your muscle memory over, and you're going to do it every single time. So you have to make sure you commit with your paddle speed. Again, a lot of players, they struggle. They can't hit good lob serves. They can't hit good slow returns of serves. They can't hit good thirds or anything. Because why? Because the ball is coming slow. And what's going to happen? The ball's going to come slow, and they slow down their speed. What you need to do is, if the ball is coming slow and lofting up, keep your body down, but you need to make sure you accelerate throughout your shot. Again, it's going to be here, and you're going to accelerate throughout your shot. A great rule of thumb is when you swing, you should be able to hear, I don't know if you can hear that in the mic, you should be able to hear the whoosh. You should be able to hear the wind go against your paddle. If you can hear the wind go against your paddle, you're going to be able to hit a good type of shot, and you're going to be able to keep the ball in. The next thing is topspin. You need to play with topspin on all of these shots. You need to accelerate, you need to stay down, and you need to commit with topspin. If a ball comes in slow, do not hit a slice. It's going to be very difficult to control. If the ball ever comes in, so if it's a lob serve, if it's a slow return, anything, you're going to play with topspin to keep the ball in. By playing with topspin, that's going to spin the ball downward, and you're going to have higher margin for error and more control on your shots. Now, we went over the drives. We keep on going over the drives, and the reason why is because if a ball comes in slow, you should use your drive, because with the drop, if it's really slow, it's going to be really difficult to time your drop. Now, if you're really going to hit a drop and you want to hit the drop and you're just so about hitting the drop, don't hit the drop. But if you do, still give yourself some space, get into your legs, and be soft in your hands. What you're going to want to do if you're hitting I'm trying to keep my phone out of the sun. It is so hot out today. What you're going to do is you're going to try to feel the ball. Where players are going to go wrong is this ball is going to come in slow. They're going to try to hit a third and they're going to swing too hard and the ball is going to go up. You need to feel the ball. Ball comes in slow, I feel the ball, and again, I really get into my legs, because why? The first rule that we told you in this amazing super long video, and people say my videos are too long, is to what? You have to create your own pace, and your own pace comes from the ground up. Now, the best way to feel the ball is literally toss the ball up in there and catch it. Toss the ball up in there, catch it. This teaches you soft hands. This teaches you your feel. If you grip the paddle super tight, it's not right. And look, when the ball hits, it's going to pop in the air, and that's not going to be right. How do you know you have feel and doing it right? The ball, you don't have to catch it, but just dies down instead of popping up in the air. So that is what you have to do. The next thing that you have to do, whenever someone hits a slow ball to you, you have to play with big targets. Where players go wrong is they see blood. They're like a shark in the water, and they try to go for too much, try to go down line, out wide, anything like that. If it's a slow ball, just go in the middle when you hit. Don't think that the slow shot is going to win you the point. Think that the slow return that you're going to hit is going to create the opportunity to win the point. Now, let me say that one more time, because this is a huge realization. You have to respect the slow shot. You have to respect that that's a shot for you to create your own pace and create an opportunity, not to automatically win the point. That right there is a huge key. When the ball comes slow, I'm not, again, testosterone Tyler, trying to destroy the ball because I played Division I tennis and I'm just think I'm Carlos Alcaraz going to win the US Open. What I need to do is I need to stay calm, cool, and collected, use that ball, if it's in, that one was out, but to get myself an opportunity up to the kitchen or wherever I'm going to hit. The only time that you should win the point is when you're hitting a slow ball that's coming to you up at the kitchen. That's when you should win the point, and that's what we're going to get into right now. So when the ball is super slow, what are you going to do? You're going to angle the ball. Where players go wrong is that, number one, they hold the paddle too tight, or they don't do any of the things that we talked about before, but number two, they keep on going to their opponents. If you want to end the point, instead of going straight ahead, you have to create angles. So instead of hitting the ball straight in the middle, unless your opponents are leaning on one side, what you're going to do, instead of doing that shot that I just did, I'm going to go like this. Notice I pulled the ball out wide on the court, unless there's a curtain there, unless you want to maybe have them never play with you again. Don't aim for the curtain, but again, if you want to end the point, aim out wide. Now, how do we aim out wide on slow balls? It's very simple. What I need you to think about is the angle of your paddle face. If my paddle face is facing forward, wherever I point my paddle face, the ball is going to go. If I want it to go off the court, I'm going to angle my paddle face this way. Pretend that there's a laser shining out. My laser's over here, the ball's going to go over here. My laser's over there, the ball's going to go over there. So all I'm going to do is, instead of having my paddle face forward, I'm going to angle my paddle face, and now I'm going to be able to hit the ball off the court. Now, the big thing with hitting the ball off the court is that you have to give yourself room for margin. Again, when I'm hitting the ball off the court, this is my target. This isn't my target. Players go too wrong because they try to end up pinpointing their shots, and they end up missing because they're trying to be so precise, and they end up losing the pickleball point. So make sure you're particular and you give yourself a lot of room for margin. Now, the next thing that you have to do is you don't have to be afraid to take a big swing. When I have a high, slow ball, I'm taking a tiny bit bigger of a swing and I'm getting into my legs. Where players go wrong is that they struggle with the high, slow balls up at the kitchen, because Fastballs, block it back, keep it short, hands out in front, super fast, right? And then they do the exact same thing, and then the ball goes long. Remember, momentum is how we get, and I save this because if you guys are still watching to the end of this video, you're going to get all these amazing tips, and this is what's going to simplify this. And everyone that cut out at the beginning of this video, they're not going to get this, okay? Remember, momentum and legs. I told you, you don't have momentum because you don't want to fall into the kitchen, right? If you hit your shot and you fall with your momentum, you're going to hit the ball or you're going to be in the kitchen and go lose point. Here's how we create momentum. If I don't have momentum, I still need to use my legs, but I use momentum with my swing. Again, this is kind of opposite, and this is why players go wrong. You think, hands out, don't take a big swing, keep your paddle out in front. Now, if the ball is coming and you have to create instead of redirect, now you can take a big swing. So think, my momentum in my legs moving forward, back when I was at the baseline or hitting any of those shots, is now, instead of my legs, it's my swing. So notice, I'm taking a bigger swing. My paddle's loose, my paddle's not firm. I want you to think, the faster the ball comes, the more firm, not death grip, but the more firm you want to be, and the shorter you want to swing, because you're redirecting. Again, the faster the ball comes at you, the firmer you want to be, and the shorter you want to swing, and the more you want to redirect. However, the slower the ball comes, the bigger you can swing, the looser you can be to create your momentum. So again, if it's fast, keep it short. If it's slow, keep it long and exaggerated. Make sure you're here. Now, the big thing is, if someone ever pops you up a slow ball on this, if you stuck with it, I want to give you the best possible, is here's the thing. When you play higher level players, players are going to be able to get balls back, unless you pull the person off the court. But again, have tolerance to hit 1, 2, or 3 balls. And that's a big thing. When you are up at the kitchen, you need to make sure you have the mental strength and fortitude to make sure that you are okay with hitting 1, 2, or 3 shots. Players get into this complex and they end up missing, going for too much, getting frustrated, downward snowball effect, 11-0, 11-0, you lose the consolation, you're out of the tournament, you're upset, you're driving home. If it's your partner, maybe your partner's walking home if you guys rode together because you're so mad at them. The reason why is because they think when you hit a high ball, you have to win the point. Now again, you want to try to angle the ball. You don't want to be giving away unnecessary freebies, but you have to have the patience that you can go over and over and over again. The first floater that my opponent gives me, yeah, I'm going to try to angle it off the court, but I'm going to be ready for the next shot in case it comes back. I'm going to be ready over and over and over again to hit the ball and try to be aggressive as many times until the point is officially over. Again, players go wrong, and this is a huge thing, because they get a floater, they try to put it away, they think that they're going to win the point, then they get back, then they try to put away again even harder, they end up missing, they get frustrated, or what happens is that they end up putting the ball away, they think that they do, their paddle's over here, and then they're playing a high-level team, they get it back, and then boom, they get body bagged, or they can't get the next ball because they thought the point was over. Number one, until someone calls the ball out, or until that ball is out of play, you do not stop playing pickleball. There's so many times I see beginner, intermediate, recreational players playing. This is just another little tangent, but the ball, they stop, they think, oh wait, that was in. Oh, I thought the ball was going out. If you don't stop until that ball literally goes out, now you're ready even if it just goes in, right? So make sure that you have the patience and you have the understanding that you're playing until someone calls the ball out or if the ball is out of play. Again, if I know that this ball is going out, I'm not going to just go, oh, is it out? Oh, no, it just bounced in, right? I'm going to go here, out. Again, this is a big difference. Oh, it's out. Over here, out. That is night or day. So the next thing you have to do is understand or anticipate that every ball is coming back. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you are ready. So if one ball comes back, what are you going to do? You're going to have your paddle out in front. So here's what I'm trying to say. Take a big swing. Here we are. Boom. And now look, my paddle's out in front and I'm ready. What I'm not doing is, number one, being like, it's over. Or number two, swinging across my body and then have my paddle here and getting body back. I hit, boom. I hit, I'm ready. I hit, I'm ready. And you're continually being ready for that next ball. Now, the one shot that we did not go over is the slow lob. When your opponent lobs the ball up in the air, what to do. I'm going to put a link in the description. That's a whole nother video on how to hit overhead smashes and what to do when your opponent lobs you. If you want, click the link in the description. I'm going to link it up here. Below is going to be the brand new carbon pickleball paddle releases on September 25th. Use code UNIVERSAL for your discount. Make sure you share this video with your pickleball friends. I've been trying to find some new inspiration, some new ideas for all of these pickleball videos. If you guys want me to go over anything, please let me know in the comments, because I am continually always looking for ideas. And if I can help one of you, it probably won't just help you, it'll help solve a lot of players' issues. So if there's anything, let me know in the comments what you want me to go over in my next video. However, next thing is today I was thinking, what can I do for players, for all levels, all ages, really impact them that not everyone goes over, and I think it's slow balls. We all talk about how to return fastballs, what to do when the ball's fast, how to beat bangers, how to blah, 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 but no one talks about the slow balls because they think that it's so easy. They end up missing and they end up getting frustrated. So I really think this video is going to be a game changer for you. If again, you can have respect for slow balls, understand the slow balls, use the tips that we went over, and then implement the always on mentality, you're going to be able to put these balls away. You're going to be able to deal with lob server. And most importantly, you're going to be able to win these pickleball points. It's my goal to get around to 30,000 followers. I wrote in my goal book, I want to get 100,000. We're still a little bit further away. But if you guys like this, please subscribe. Please share with your friends. And I will see you guys next time on court. Later.